Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. We had a good-sized selectmen's meeting last night. We started out with the county commissioners, and they had a couple of items, and then we had the Bartlett Farm Cisco Brewers showdown. Wasn't really a showdown. It's been a number of times on the county commissioners' agenda, the issue of the parking on the road. And good news, knock on wood, but it sounded good. The Bartletts reported that they and Cisco Brewers have reached an agreement about the parking. They didn't go into the details of the agreement, but it sounded like there would be a lease of some Bartlett land to Cisco for parking. So they asked, Bartlett's did, if the county commissioners would have no parking on Bartlett Farm Road, either side. But the board wasn't prepared to do that last night. I think they want to make sure the agreement comes to fruition, and then they'll revisit if need be.
Why would they ask for no parking?
Well, they've been vocal about no parking along that road for safety and other reasons. Is their reasoning? The
Bartletts or
the Bartletts.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
But not the other guys. They don't.
No, yeah. not them. All right. And anyway, it sounded good, and good for them both for getting together and trying to really earnestly work this out. So that was good news. We then went into our board meeting, and we've experienced a winter parking restriction snafu of sorts. Last November, the board adopted some winter parking restrictions, which essentially involved establishing a kind of a winter 2-hour zone that would be enforced in the immediate downtown. And it turns out that is contrary to what the bylaw allows us to do. And there's been this mix-up between the parking regulations that were adopted a number of years ago and the bylaw, which was adopted even longer ago. And over the years, they've both been amended, but they haven't really meshed. So to make a long story short, we're back to however our map reads for winter parking, and that is going to be available online. Meanwhile, the board will be putting a warrant article on the 2014 annual town meeting warrant. They actually decided to put 2 warrant articles on. One would fix up the existing bylaw so that they would be allowed to make certain types of parking changes that aren't currently allowed now, following the usual public hearing process, of course. The other article is going to be to repeal that bylaw entirely so that the board has sole authority over parking regulations, restrictions, changes, maps, all that sort of thing. Again, it would all be subject to public hearings, so the public would continue to have a chance to weigh in but not vote. So that took a bit of discussion. There were a number of different licenses approved by the board last night. The Bean was approved for an entertainment license, a little one, radio and some acoustic music from time to time. And Backyard Barbecue, B-ACK Yard Barbecue, is an establishment that's going where old Captain Toby's was. They got entertainment and liquor licenses. And there's a new place called Merceau, which is at 18 Broad Street. It's a little downstairs shop now, and it'll still be downstairs. It'll be a kind of a wine and cheese cafe sort of a thing. Eat in only, no takeout.
Wine and cheese eat in.
It's a wine and cheese eat-in.
Okay. Booze?
I think you had to eat in, yeah.
But they have
just
booze.
Wine.
Just wine.
They have a wine and malt license because you can't really get just a wine license, but...
That means beer.
Right.
Okay.
What did I say, malt?
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
That's what it's from the old days.
From the old days.
Yeah.
In any case, it sounded like I don't remember if they talked about any beer, but mostly wine. It sounded kind of fancy, but kind of cool and different. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We also had our enterprise funds come in, airport, our island home, solid waste and sewer, to discuss their fiscal 15 budget projections. So that took a while, and the airport also did the second quarter of fiscal 14 because it kind of related. I gave the board my monthly town administration activities report. They like to know what we're up to. So I don't talk about every little thing that we do, but give them some highlights and an overview. And some of those things included the budget, the annual town meeting. We got a lot of collective bargaining negotiations underway. We've been working on a long-term capital financing plan. Baxter Road, of course, and the Sconset Bluff Erosion Control Project have taken some time, and some various personnel items. Streetlights, surprisingly, seem like an issue that shouldn't take any time, but it takes some time. So I'm going to take a quick moment to explain something about streetlights. There are streetlights. This is going to be a little bit of TMI. Street lights are out of town. They're owned and operated by and maintained by National Grid. They are the overhead lights. The street lamps are mostly in the downtown area, and they are lamps, like right out here on Broad Street. The town does not own and maintain all of the street lamps. Most of them, but not all of them. So there are some outages I noticed myself doing a little drive around a week or two ago, that there are several lights out in that area over there in the Stop and Shop, Zero Main, Easy Street area. And some of those lights are owned by NIR, Nantucket Island Resorts, so they are their responsibility. And I know the public doesn't really care whose responsibility it is, they just want the things on. And they're right, they should be on. So we are going to be embarking upon an effort to get them on. And National Grid's been very responsive and helpful in that regard. So there's, anyway.
National Grid pays for the street lights?
National Grid owns and maintains them. We pay for the electricity.
Oh, okay.
Same with here, except we also pay to maintain them. I shouldn't have said operate, because that's really the electricity for the street lights. The lamps, we pay the whole shebang, unless there is an electrical issue with a street lamp that only the electric company can deal with, like the wiring got whatever, I don't know.
Right.
So those were some of the things I talked to the board about. The board also, yay, adopted the 2014 annual town meeting warrant. There are something like 107-ish, 106, 107 articles. We added and subtracted a couple of articles last night, so I don't remember what the exact number was. But the warrant will be out hopefully later today online for people to look at. It will be published in the paper next week. So that will be, that's good to get that underway. The Finance Committee will have a public hearing on the articles on February 10th at 4 o'clock. Double check the location. I'm pretty sure it's in the community room at the Public Safety Building. And the town meeting itself, as hopefully everybody by now knows, will be on Saturday, April 5th at the high school. So those are the things we did. Oh, also, we do not have a selectmen's meeting next Wednesday, the 29th. The board typically does not meet the 5th Wednesday, and that happens to be a 5th Wednesday. Kind of wish there were more 5th Wednesdays. No, of course I don't wish that. You love
your Wednesday nights.
Love those Wednesday nights. I don't know what to do with myself when there isn't a meeting on a Wednesday night. Okay, so that's what's going on. The storm, hopefully everybody weathered it okay. Got a little bit of feedback. There was a little Twitter chatter about the sledding, but I think even the would-be sledders could see it was not it wasn't not conducive at all. And there was some Twitter chatter about the tree in front of the Brotherhood, which is scheduled to come down next week. And the chatter was, if it doesn't blow down in this storm, that means it'll never blow down, so can we please leave it up? No. Okay.
Why is it coming down?
Well, it's got some dangerous limbs. A limb already fell last summer, or spring or summer. And there's been a professional assessment done of the tree, not only by the town's arborist, but by an independent tree person.
How old is that tree? Do we know?
I don't know. Somebody asked that on Twitter, and I didn't find out how old it is. I have not talked to Dale. It must be pretty old.
That's a classic.
But as I tried to explain, they don't live forever, these trees. And it's beautiful and nice and old. And
who's taking it down? Is the town taking it down?
The town's taking it down. There was a question about the wood as well. What's going to happen to the wood? Because it's an elm tree, the bark is potentially, I don't know if diseased is the right word, but we don't want the Dutch elm, whatever it is called, virus, disease thing, to travel anywhere, like get spread around any more than might already be. So Dale, the town arborist, wants to make sure that if anybody wants the wood, they can come get it, but they have to go through a little process with him before they can actually take it away. And it involves removing the bark, and he looks at it. I don't really know what it involves. That sounded like what it involves. But if you do want some of the wood, I think call the DPW and let them know you're interested so he can kind of keep track of who might be interested. But you're going to have to go down the day of the tree removal and hang out.
Wait for pieces.
Yeah, I think so.
What day is that going to happen?
That is scheduled to begin on Tuesday, the 28th. But again, call the DPW and make sure. Sometimes stuff happens and things have to get postponed. So double check. But that's scheduled right now to be the day.
Okay.
It'll be sad. Don't try to chain yourself to the tree, please. That would just be messy.
Well, I think we'll be down there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be interested.
Oh, definitely. That's it reminds me of when I first moved here.
I know.
You know, it's been there for
forever in our lifetimes.
Since you're right.
Well, I'm not that
100
old.
Years old?
How would I know? I'm not that old, you know?
No, but I mean,
I would say, I don't know.
It's got to be 100 years old.
It's got to be 100 years old.
Wow, that's
must be.
It's terrible.
I don't really know though.
Yeah.
All right, what else? What else? Anything else going? It is cold out.
Yep.
Do not even want to go outside. You should feel my hands right now. There's like a draft that comes through my window here, and I'm doing my computer things here, and my hands are like completely frozen. My coffee cup, I did take the top off. My coffee is ice cold right now, icy.
Huh.
There's some kind of breeze.
You better get that fixed.
You'd think somebody like me could get something like that fixed?
No.
No.
They don't want to hear it.
They like to leave me in a state like this. Okay, so I guess that's it. Thanks very much. See you next time.